What's going on, my friend? I'm going to be showing you how I get a beautiful crust on a cast iron seared New York strip.
Well, what is happening? I am Logan and this is Logan's Junior Chef. Welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm making a cast iron skillet seared New York strip. I definitely like to take my time when I'm picking out a New York strip at the store. I'm picking one that has decent marbling through it, and also sometimes New York strips have a nasty connective tissue that runs through the middle of the steak. I'll put a picture up on the screen of what I'm talking about so that you can see. That connective tissue is chewy, it's tough, it's very unpleasant to eat. The only time that is actually good is if you're braising that entire loin itself. Cooking it down, it's going to be gelatinous, it's actually going to give good flavor on it. Otherwise, avoid that connective tissue whenever possible when you're just going to do a quick sear like we're doing today.
So the first step is to get your New York strip and pat the thing completely dry on both sides. Season very liberally with kosher salt and freshly cracked black pepper. I'm going to let this sit at room temperature for about 30 minutes to let it come up to room temperature. I'm going to make a parsnip puree, which is actually incredibly easy. So take a parsnip, peel it, chop it, and blanch it in some water until it's nice and soft. Strain it out. Put half of a cup of heavy cream into the stock pot. Bring it up to a boil, season it with salt and pepper. Put in your parsnips, and then puree.
I mean, don't get me wrong, cooking a steak on a barbecue, getting those beautiful diamond-shaped grill marks are absolutely gorgeous. But if you think about it, you're missing out on all that flavor and all that beautiful caramelization on the outside of that steak, as wherever you searing it on a skillet, you get that full surface area of that steak gets beautifully caramelized, you get all that flavor, you get that beautiful crust. If you have only those diamond shapes on the outside of that steak, you're really missing out on maximum flavor. It looks pretty, but I'm going for flavor today.
In your preheated cast iron skillet, drop in that steak that's been patted dry on both sides once again. Cook it on the first side about 2 to 3 minutes depending on how rare you want this. Look at that beautiful crust on that. That is what you're going for. Flip it over, put in 2 cloves of garlic, 1 sprig of fresh rosemary, and about 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. The purpose of that is to melt that butter down with the garlic and that rosemary, and you're going to baste the outside of that steak. It's going to give it a beautiful aroma to it and also add an incredible amount of flavor. Don't forget to sear the fat caps on this steak as well. That's gonna be a beautiful, beautiful tasting steak, and I love the crust on it. Depending on your desired doneness on the steak, I'm going for a medium rare on mine, but you could cook yours more or less depending on what you like. Continue cooking it, continue basting it until it's done. Let it rest on our cutting board for about 10 minutes before plating it up. I made a roasted garlic compound butter specifically for this steak just because I love the flavor of roasted garlic on a steak. I also made some roasted root vegetables that are going to go perfectly with that parsnip puree. So let's just plate this thing up. Pop down that parsnip puree, put down your roasted root vegetables, put the steak on, and top it with that roasted garlic compound butter. Cut into the steak and enjoy. Full written recipe of that compound butter and that parsnip puree is on my website.
All these flavors work so incredibly together. That parsnip puree, those roasted beets with those potatoes, incredible. And that caramelized crust on the outside of that New York strip, can't get any better than that.